Welcome back. It is 1562. In the last one, we had Nicholas turn down Isaac and marry Sibley and get her pregnant. He almost died, but he survived, and everything is okay with the world again. So, this year, Queen Elizabeth has fallen ill as the plague starts to descend on everybody. We have a lot of babies that were born, and let's get right into it. No 7, 14, or 19 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. No 7, 14, or 19. Ooh, number 1. Already right off the bat. Shoot. 4? I think that was number 1 and number 4. No, not Katarina's baby. 2, 3. Oh my gosh. And um, the only male heir to the Heredia family as well, though they're still having babies, so maybe they'll be okay. Oh gosh. I'm pretty sure the Heredias only have yeah, this baby just died. They have no other men. The Heredia family might be dying out. Okay, and then Sear Stroud can't get a 3 or an 18. He did not. And then Acelina Light has to get at least a 7. She did not. Acelina. Wait, is Acelina even still alive? Oh, I wasn't going to show you that yet, but yes, we're having a baby right now. Oh, she is alive. Oh, she didn't get married. That was the problem. Oh, no, she did get married to Vlad. Oh, now she's dying. That's unfortunate. Sear is also a vampire, so he's not going to end up on this anymore. But he does need to get married. Oh, Nicholas is married. There's no ladies for him right now, though. But he's a vampire, so I guess it's okay. Florence and Sibley are not up for grabs. So Bennett is the next one. We'll have to see where we go with that. We're not going to marry him this year. Okay, and then yes, Katarina is having her baby right now. It's a girl, so I figured we'd just do this together since it happened when I loaded into the game. So she survived, the baby has survived, and the baby has survived. So all 3 rolls there. The Light family has been doing the A names, so let's do Audrey. I think that's a pretty name. Audrey. Oh my gosh, another girl. Okay. Let's roll. She survived. The baby survived. And the baby, we've been having such good lucks. Lux, that's not a word. We've been having such good luck with the babies. Okay, so Audrey and Avina. Oops, Avina. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, hold on. I can't do this all at once. Audrey, Avina, Light. Audrey, Avina, Light. And then we've had 3 babies now. And if I go here, Audrey, Light, Avina, Light. Okay, and Amos just died. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, and then if I go here to Katarina, she has had 2 more children. Audrey, who is a girl, and Avina, who is also a girl. Oh, poor Amos. Okay, now we can roll for Elizabeth. Elizabeth, the baby again. Ooh, I don't think that's good. Oh, no, it is good. Wait a second. Oh. You guys, have you noticed that I've been messing this up this whole time? I thought that the rolls for infant were 18 and 20. Shoot. Have I been doing those rolls wrong this whole time and just didn't notice? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. In my head, I thought they were 18 and 20, so that's still 2 numbers. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been doing that wrong this whole time. Well, I guess the baby survived. From now on, I'm going to try and remember that I've been totally doing that roll wrong. I don't know. It must have used to be something different than it is now because I really feel like I knew those numbers. Okay. Well, well, it's a boy. So, did anybody notice I've been doing that? Is it just me? Like, oh, how about Humphrey? I kind of love that. Oh my gosh. You guys have probably been yelling at me like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Humphrey Dubois. Humphrey Dubois. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that happened to me. Okay, that's 2 children. Both of them can get pregnant again, Elizabeth and Katerina. All right, last chance for a male heir, although it's fine because if they have a daughter, she can still become queen. And here we go here. Okay, and you're having another boy. You've been having a lot of boys. That's good for you. Okay, and then I'll go here and do Humphrey Dubois. Then we'll go here. Elizabeth is our cousin. She should be somewhere around here. I don't see her. It's fine. Elizabeth. Nope, that's not her. Here she is. Had a child. Humphrey. They're having all the boys. I wonder if that's something that Katerina would be jealous about. Oh gosh. Okay. I am stunned that I've been doing that roll wrong this whole time. But it was still 2 numbers. We'll just do it right from now on. And he has 3 grandchildren now, and he's about to have a 4th when we have our baby. When are we having our baby? Oh wow, we're already like almost to the 3rd trimester, so we're gonna have our baby soon-ish. I thought that we were only in our like 1st or 2nd, so that's fine. Anyway, let's hop into the game. Alrighty, so we are here and we are with our family. Everyone is still feeling kind of shell-shocked by the whole situation where Nicholas almost died. They all still have that moodlet of, a death in the family. They're all very sad still. And so I think even more than previously, like Gabriel has been protective of Juliana, but even more so, he is now super protective of her after almost losing Nicholas. And she is not enjoying that, right? Like he is being way too overprotective of her and not even of his other children. I mean, he is trusting his older kids to kind of, carve their own paths. But at the same time, like even Alice, he is allowing her to go off, go to school, go out with friends. Like I don't even know when that happened, but Juliana isn't even enrolled in school. So I don't know how that happened, but it's good for our story. So, yeah, he's just being way too overprotective of her and her specifically because, she was the one where Genevieve died giving birth to her. And so she is just really not appreciative of that. And she, goes back and forth because her dad is her best friend. They are so close and they spend a lot of time together. But at the same time, she kind of resents that he's not letting her, go out and play with the other kids, go to school with the other kids, all that stuff. So there is definitely a struggle there. Meanwhile, we have Nicholas. Part of his aspiration as a Renaissance sim is to get to level 3 of 3 jobs. So I am going to have him join the diplomat career because I was just thinking of careers that would be appropriate of different things he wants to try. So he already tried like the manual labor stuff and now he's trying the diplomat stuff and he automatically got to level 3 too. So I'm just going to have him quit that career. But I think that it's indicative of a larger thing where he's feeling kind of directionless in his own life. Like he has his marriage with Sibley and all the stuff that was going on with her. And the two of them are kind of like, okay, well, now what? Now what do we do? What's our purpose? What's our future look like? And, outside of being parents. So Nicholas is definitely looking for that something. And I think when we have Sibley get to a young adult status, maybe I'll have her be a soothsayer. So I was thinking about that, and then I was like, okay, well, if she's going to do that, then it means that we need to kind of have her, come out in a way as a psychic and as someone who, has a little bit of magic in her life. And so because of that, I think that her and Nicholas are going to have this big talk where she's like not really worried so much anymore about the fact that Gabe, her sister, had the psychic powers. She took them away, all that stuff. And, occults are recognized and accepted in this land. And so I think that she is like, you know what? If all the other occults are accepted, the spellcasters, the vampires, why can't I? Why can't I also be like that? And so the two of them are just talking about how she wants to potentially, show or not hide that she is a psychic and that she can, make predictions and stuff. And so I was thinking about what to do with Nicholas, and then I saw that we have actually like 3 religious careers, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to have him go talk to Gabriel, and they're going to have a conversation where, Nicholas is telling Gabriel that he's directionless. He doesn't know what he wants to do exactly, and Gabriel recalls his past where he was very into the religious situation where we were using rambunctious religions, and when that just kind of fell to the wayside. And then I ended up not really ending up playing with it that much. But I think that Gabriel still has always, been part of that religion and felt religious. And we saw Nicholas earlier with the Holy Book. And I just think that maybe Gabriel is going to steer him in that direction and be like, hey, why don't you look more into your spirituality, into your religion? Why don't you explore that? And I think that he'd be totally fine exploring that. Who knows where it will go? But I'm going to have him join the clergy career and just kind of start, investigating that part of himself. So that's what's happening there. And then I'm trying to also work on Sibley's aspiration, and I don't know what is going on. Like, I could create a date fine from the relationship panel, but now I can't create a date with Nicholas from the relationship panel, and at the same time, every time I click create a date, I get this weird menu that's broken. And I don't know what's up with that. I feel like I saw that in some of the early access videos, so I'm not really sure why it's broken like that. You can see that it's not right. And we created a date in the past, so I'm like, what the heck? So I don't really know what's going on there. We're going to have to come back to that whole situation. But in the meantime, I'm going to have Sibley and Nicholas for support come to the royal household. Also, she wants to woohoo in 3 places, so why not? Oh, also, more babies are being born. So this is the baby Heredia ended up not surviving, unfortunately. But then the Miles Hobird did survive birth and is now, in our tree. The Hobirds are doing really well with the child situation. They are not losing kids. But anyway, you can see also I made Queen Elizabeth in a more historically accurate outfit for her. And I'm just going to have Sibley. So technically, Queen Elizabeth is supposed to be ill this year. She's not supposed to be doing well. And we have Osric here, who is, the spellcaster in charge of the royal family, like the, maybe like the court wizard or whatever. But she's going to chat with him, and because he's a spellcaster, so he's the closest occult to what she is, and they just have this conversation, and she tells him that she's psychic and how she's not really going to hide it anymore, and he's really proud of her for that because his family were spellcasters and everything, and it was just really difficult for their family, especially during the war and everything. And she tells him, and she also makes a prediction for him, and she says the queen will recover from this illness. So that is her good prediction for the royal family, that the queen will recover. We know that the queen will recover, so I feel confident in making that prediction for her. But yeah, so she started kind of giving out predictions a little more. I don't want to just say that she was psychic for her whole story and then just like say, okay, now they're married and they're having kids and we're not going to worry about that whole psychic thing anymore. No, that's not what's going to happen. So they are indeed psychic, and she just made a prediction for the queen, so that was nice. Meanwhile, I am going to have Alice call over the children. I feel like Alice needs a good friend. We've had in the past, the kids starting to make BFFs and stuff, and Agnes is actually the one who is closest in age to her, and also literally every other child in this save is from the Brigg family, but they are sort of related by marriage now, so that's really nice. And so I'm having her become good friends with Agnes, and you can see even Juliana is literally with Gabriel right now. I didn't even make them do that, and they are. But yeah, so I'm having her become friendly with Agnes. I think that it could be cute for them to be close and everything, and have a good time there. I do want her to have more actual friends, and Alice needs to start getting a personality because things are going to start happening with her, and I think it'll be great. So that is that on that. Just the kids playing, having a good time, getting to know each other, spending time together. Maybe some of the little boys might be interested in Alice as she grows up. Also, I forgot to update the family tree already, so I'm trying to add in some of that stuff. We do have only one baby try left for quite a few of our couples, 3 out of 4, so there is that, but I do want to continue on here, especially, keeping in mind that we are dealing with the fallout of the plague next year. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, you guys. Except it's only it's a 6 on a d6, which is not as bad as the sweating sickness was. So you know what? At least there's that for us. At least there's that. So anyway, what we have is we have now Florence and Gabriel having a conversation. Lots of conversations in this game, but Florence and Gabriel having a conversation where they want to talk about their situation of Florence's future, right? So Florence is not really interested in getting married right now, and she talks to Gabriel, and she's like, we talked about her getting into treasure hunting and that kind of stuff, and so she's been interested in that, and she says, Dad, I want to go travel the world. I want to go and, see the world and hunt for treasure and do all this cool stuff. And Gabriel's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I support you in all the things you do, but this is a lot, right? So he basically adds some stipulations for her where he's like, okay, well, look, if you want to go off, I'm obviously going to give you some money to support you in this. And then also, you cannot go by yourself. He basically tells her, he's like, look, you are not going by yourself. You're not doing that. So he tells her that, and he says, you've got to figure it out. Whatever you decide is fine, but you are not going to go traipse around the world as a woman by yourself. So that is the conversation that they have. Then I'm just going to have Nicholas and Sibley spend some time together. I'm trying to get her romance skill up as part of her aspiration. We're so close to being done with this aspiration, and yet I can't get them on a created date. And I feel like at some point I'm going to have to be like, okay, well, maybe we'll just have to get gold on a regular date and call it good. What am I supposed to do, right? It's just frustrating. Sometimes this game is so frustrating. I feel like I could get gold in a created date, though. I feel like I could succeed. But guess we won't know, because for some reason she can go on a date with everyone except for her husband. So anyway, we are going to have the baby now. So the baby is being born. Very exciting. I am so excited for their baby. We are going to finally find out what the gender of the baby is and everything. So she's giving birth right here. Here's Nicholas watching over her, and it's a girl. And unfortunately for our girl, she did not survive her infant role. And so that is just really hard. I'm glad that Nicholas survived now, because his daughter did not. And that is so sad. I really, really wish that she had survived. But unfortunately, what can you do? There's not really that much that we can do for that. And I am very sad about it. But meanwhile, Gabriel, who's probably going even more crazy now that he just lost his granddaughter, is going to go visit his grandchildren from Katerina. And he does have as part of his aspiration to chat with a grandchild 10 times, so I am going to have him get introduced to little Amos II before we kill him off. But unfortunately, not all interactions count as socialization, which is really annoying, but also, what can you do? So we only get to talk to the baby a couple times before that just stops working. So I think it's probably some of these aspirations didn't really account for infants in the same way that they could have. But anyway, we are going to just go and have Gabriel being a grandpa, meeting his grandchildren, spending time with them, spending time with his daughter a little bit. Just because she moved out and got married does not mean that Gabriel is not going to interact with her anymore. He is still a very doting father and everything, and he feels very strongly about that. So there is that. And then we are going to be home now, and we are going to just have everybody hanging out, doing their thing. Again, we are trying to have her do the date, and it's really not working, so that's very frustrating. But what can I do? I don't really have a lot of options here, so I'm just trying to get her skill up. And then we're going to have a little event where we invite everyone over. We haven't really invited a lot of people over lately, although we probably shouldn't be now that the plague is really starting to run rampant. And Florence actually got a whim to chat with her cousin, Cyr Stroud. Now, Cyr is a vampire, and we just talked about him. He's just aging up to young adult this year. And Florence got this whim, and Florence is a planner. She is definitely like a little bit of a schemer, and she, got together Nicholas and Sibley, and so I'm like, wait a second, this is perfect because Cyr is her cousin, so he's a family member, he's male, and also he's a vampire, which means he's strong. And so I'm like, this is great because Florence can convince him to go treasure hunting with her, and that can be, one of the reasons why we don't have him get married anytime soon. He's a vampire, he's got plenty of time, so I just think that that would be, a fun thing where we have them doing this together. And so Florence is basically convincing her cousin. She's like, think about all the history and blah, 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 and like, all this stuff. And so she's really excited about that. And I think he is probably going to agree to go with her. Again, I still can't create a date, and it's super annoying, and I don't know what to do, and it's really frustrating me. But I want to get these two pregnant. Also, I tried to put the estates there, and it's a mess. They're stuck there forever now. That's just my bad. The estates are stuck on the floor in the dining room because when Nicholas died, it came to be into the household inventory, but it's not like an object that exists outside of the inventory, so we just now have it so that it's just on the floor there, and I can't interact with it or do anything with it, and I don't know what to do. And I also can't shift click delete it, and I can't use the sledgehammer to delete it either. So anyway, we are going to round out the year with a nice date between the two of them. I actually wanted to try and get a gold date here, but would you believe that unfortunately for us, the only thing left in the task list to complete would be to talk about the meal. You cannot talk about the meal until the meal is there, and unfortunately the waiter dropped our meal on the floor and then never brought a new one. So the date ended before we were actually able to even do that or even have a bite to eat or anything, which is so frustrating. This game sometimes I think is acting against me. It like literally has a grudge against me. I'm pretty sure this game. So anyway, that is where we are going to start wrapping up with just having them have their date and have a good time and, spending time together. And I think she is pregnant because she got the throw up option on the toilet. So we will be having another baby next time. Hopefully that baby survives in the whole plague situation. And oh my gosh, what if Nicholas dies? And I just don't even know what to say here about the whole thing. So, yeah. I'm just going to stop worrying so much. You know how much I worry constantly. I think next year, let me see. Next year is Alice's birthday and Sibley and Florence's birthday. So those are some things that are going to happen alongside the plague. So trying not to stress about that, but it's just something that is a possibility. And oh my gosh, if Sibley died after all this, it would just be heartbreaking. But, and I do think they love each other a lot, but I actually think Nicholas would be the type to remarry. So there is that too. But I hope their baby survives at least. I hope she survives. I hope everything goes well. So Anyway, I am going to now start the birthday situation. I'm going to call over some Sims that I'm killing, and then, in the baby form, and then I'm also going to add some kids to the club. So we have a lot of birthdays this year. We have Audrey and Avina Light becoming infants, Humphrey Dubois becoming an infant, Amos Light II passing away, Isaac Dubois II becoming a toddler, Celestria Heredia becoming a toddler, Castor Heredia dying, Dennis Hobart becoming a toddler, Sear Stroud becoming a young adult, Aislina Light dying, Hughie Brigg, Erasmus Brigg, and Amice Brigg becoming children and joining the club. The baby Heredia did not survive, and Miles Hobart did survive to become an infant. So lots of birthdays this year, lots of kids being born, very exciting stuff, and I love every second of it because that's just something that I find really fun and entertaining. So my love of the spreadsheet, despite the fact that I'm not very good at keeping it up, but that's okay. So next year we have the plague. We're just going to accept it. Honestly, I'm probably going to record that right after this because I just need to get it over with so that I can think in my head about how to rearrange some stories and stuff. So I will do that, and you will see it soon. So I'll catch you in the next one.